Hey everyone, you've seen a couple replays in Narai recently with the Mahon and Buscavicho. This is another 5-ship game in the same night where I'm playing the Leningrad. It's another version 3.3 replay, and you'll see some of the characteristics as usual. I'll point them out. Now, it was announced today, Monday, February 10th, that Narai is being pulled from rotation because of the AI problems, mainly due to Allied transports having messed up pathing. And, it is said that they're going to try to return it within the patch or two. There are many people who have doubts on that. We'll just have to see. But I will have also a few more Narai replays saved up if you want to see them later. For now, this is basic destroyer strat with the Leningrad. I've said before, it's pretty much your optimal destroyer choice, especially for a 4-ship Narai game. It'll be interesting to see how Narai returns and how easy or difficult it'll be to do a 4-ship Narai, assuming it does come back. With 3.3, now the Iron Duke, as pointed out previously, it tends to slow down when it starts, hence I am pointing my torpedoes back. I do one on the line and one half behind. Now, there is one cautionary tale here in this replay, but it's not to do with my play, as I don't get myself into any real dangerous situations. I will point it out later, and you will understand why. Now, there's a couple things with torpedoing the Iron Duke. I usually just torp at distance, but there are a couple people who like to go charge a little closer to get a better torpedo spread and sink the Iron Duke pretty much by yourself in the destroyer. The problem is that you're going to miss out on getting shots at the Emerald, so there is a trade-off. And if you think about how EXP is earned, it's based on percentage of ship. If you can get some good shots on the Emerald and get a good set of citadels, you could very well trade off and get some really good EXP from the Emerald in place of the Iron Duke. But that's a decision for you to decide which you prefer. And if you're wondering about the tactic where you charge a little closer, I put up a tactics and strategies video already where Brooklyn does that, and you can find it in my strategies and tactics playlist. Here, since the Nicholas already gave me some smoke, I'm not bothering to use my own, as I can borrow the smoke here and do some shooting while I wait for the cruisers to get finished off. And now, the cautionary tale here is watch Porthos in the Scharnhorst. He is charging headlong toward the cruisers and the Missouri. looked away, he was at full health. What the Emerald did, proceed to go after the Missouri, and you can see he's already lost a third of his health, and now he's charging the Missouri, trying to get some torpedoes, and he's doing your classic Scharnhorst rush tactic. The problem is, he nearly takes some torps here from probably the Emerald, and then well, you'll see what the Missouri does to him. So he's down to 18k health, and then there's shots inbound from all the ships inside. And at this point, obviously, no point in torpedoing this Missouri myself. And he gets down to, I think, around 6k. Yes, the Scharnhorst Rush is a tactic that you can find a video for, and is a solid strategy, but there is such a thing as being a little too reckless when you're doing this, and he's going to be out of commission for a while. So yes, you do have a strat to do with the Scharnhorst Rush, but you can't be overzealous, even if you know what you're doing. Here is another thing that's pretty new to 3.3. The Nicholas tends to go north. Unless you spot the Lexington really, really early, it's very common for the Nicholas to go north rather than stay inside the bay. And one mistake that people will do is charge at the Nicholas and end up taking torpedoes. It's a very problematic thing to avoid. And it's the same thing with the Phoenix. You don't want to be charging into the Phoenix either, because it will send torpedoes into you as well if you get really close. And I'm going to pause here. You see the smoke. Unless you spot the Nicholas really early, the Lexington really early, basically by the island, it's very difficult to keep the Nicholas inside. Anything, if it starts in the G row at all, you're pretty much going to have the Nicholas going north. Now, yes, Narai is going to be gone, but it doesn't hurt to have as much relevant information as you can for its return, unless it is completely changed. Now, if you remember, I went this way with the Buscavicha and the Mahon, and this is actually really nice to go if you have a decent amount of health, as you can send torpedoes into the Proton since it beaches itself, which is something it started doing with version 3.2. Just keep in mind and predict what the Proton will be doing. Right now it's going forward, but once it beaches itself, it's going to start going backward. So you don't necessarily want to fire on the torpedo guide. You want to fire where you think it's going to end up. It's okay to take a little damage to get a more optimal position. You'll see that very common in my replays. Just like that, no more Breton. Now one thing to keep in mind, as of this version 3.3, if the Breton stays alive for a while, the Nicholas will get hung up on the Breton, if you remember it from one of the other earlier replays. And with the last wave spawning, I'm going to proceed to head out and charge for some more damage. And as you'll note, my damage this game isn't really anything significant, since a lot of the Zuri's health was taken by Porthos, but he paid a heavy price for it. So keep in mind that you can be aggressive, but you can't be too reckless either. There's a fine line, as they say, between being brave and being a fool. We'll just have to see when Narai comes back, as it's going to be gone as of patch 0.9.1. This is pretty much it. Thank you for watching. See you next time.